Yes, that was a bit technical problem that happened there. We are sorry for the followers who were very active when it comes to the comment section there, the likes of Esther, Ruth, Sammy. We are here back so that we can discuss the post-match analysis for the weekends. Because we have talked about Kipchumba Murkomen. Others are saying that Murkomen is same as Man United. So he's not going to give us hopes for 2027 because we are fighting for this Austin AFCON 2027 because this is the only way we are going to have our country being marketed. And if we do good, then our country will be featured as one of the best when it comes to development. We saw what happened in South Africa during the 2010 World Cup. We saw what happened in Ivory Coast this year when they hosted the Africa Cup of Nations. So what happened in Egypt, whereby they hosted AFCON. So we want to compete with those countries because we are very developed country when it comes to sports. Maybe athletes they consider us maybe. So we are going to see whether it's going to have this AFCON 2027. We were just getting to this post match analysis of what happened over the weekend, and I was asking Kilong what is take about the 2024-2025 Premier League. Who is going to be crowned the champions of this season and why?
Yes, Bonnie, I'm tempted to mention my team because of its recent form. My team is Chelsea, but let me just be practical for a moment. And based on what we know so far, it's that this league uh, will there's a higher chance that Manchester City will again win the league, but a close competitor is uh, is teams like Chelsea, Liverpool, and Arsenal. So between the three teams that I've mentioned, we know which team is the serial loser, which is always Arsenal. So remove Arsenal from that, then you'll remain with Liverpool and Chelsea. So Liverpool and Chelsea, they have new management in place, and and based on the two teams, Chelsea has a young squad uh, with teammates who have not gelled because they have been bought for the last 1 or 2 seasons. Compared to Liverpool, they have a more developed team with players having played for more than 5 years together. So that makes it easy for them to bond, and also their playing style is almost similar to what Jurgen Klopp was playing. So I'll put a little bit of I'll put a little bit of higher chance to Liverpool. Then Chelsea, it will depend on a lot of factors that they crown the champions. But come next season, will be real competitors. So that is what I am saying, brother Bonnie.
Zach Long is saying that he has that idea whereby Chelsea, Liverpool, they are going to give Man City that tough competition because it's also saying that Arsenal they are one of the biggest losers, so they are not going to give City the problems when it comes to
No,
this season. But again, do you think Arteta is going to allow this thing happen 3 times in a row? 2 seasons he has bolted for this league. Now he's there and is fighting so hard so that he can go and win this title for Arsenal because since 2003 they have not won a Premier League title. During the time of Henry, now they are having Martinelli, Magalhaes, Jesus, and also Raheem Sterling. Is this squad going to make them be crowned the champions for this 2024-2025 season? That is Arteta. We are wishing him all the best because he is one of the very active managers we have in this Premier League. So we are wishing Arsenal and the entire management all the best as they compete. You know, tomorrow They are facing a very tough side. So I don't know whether they are going to win against the Paris Saint Germain, or they are going to be clobbered by the Paris Saint Germain. And of course, I can see in the comment section there, Gibbs Econo is one of the favorite Liverpool fan. Liverpool now they have a new coach, that is Arne Slot, and Arne Slot has been very, very good when it comes to managing Liverpool. He took over from Jurgen Klopp, and it's like the players and the management welcomed him very well in that Anfield. Do you think that Liverpool can? Of course, you have said that they cannot win, but again, Liverpool. What is your take about Liverpool play? Gameplay. You saw them playing, and they are playing a very good game. I saw them playing against AC Milan. I think we were discussing about this during that game. They came back from that team and they won 3-1. And now they are playing a very good game. Despite the lose from the Nottingham Forest, they won, and now they are giving the EPL mentality whereby they want to win the Premier League. They are saying that we don't have Jurgen Klopp, we are good. We can win together with Hans Slot. Hans Slot, do you think that this coach can give us a surprise?
Uh, Not really a surprise, but the way you just see how Liverpool are playing right now, they're working with what they have been doing before, but a little bit they try to now control the game by holding the ball from time to time, then strike almost sporadically. So it means that their playing philosophy hasn't changed, and as well their players have been there for more than 2 or 3 seasons. So, and we have some bit of what I would say, they've tried to improve their squad by getting people like Gravenberch, who is really playing well at the moment, and Dominic Soboslai as well, addition last season. So for me, Liverpool, they don't have a real big change in their playing style, and that for me makes them a competitor because they have been playing together, they have gelled together, they know what they're doing in the field, and now they're implementing what was implemented before. They're not trying to uh, change the wheel, so they are working with what Klopp built. So I think that makes Arne Slot, he can ride that wave and ultimately make it. But that's we are ready to we will be it will be interesting to see that.
Saying that Anslot maybe he can give us that win, but the players are still there, the likes of Salah, Virgil van Dijk, and the new signing that came there, they are just giving that winning mentality, the likes of Gravenberch. And I've seen some of the EPL media really hyping Gravenberch, saying that he is one of the best midfielders we are having right now. And I will not agree. Personally, I will not agree. They're also saying Dominic is playing very well, and they are backing him as well as Kelong. I can hear him saying that Dominic is playing very well. I've seen him playing for Hungary, and he's quite good. I will not say he's not good, but he need to upgrade. They have also signed Federico Chiesa from Juventus, and they have not given him that more time to play. So Liverpool, maybe they are going to, maybe they are now on the top of the league. If they maintain that winning, then I'm very sure that even Man City, I saw Man City playing together with Newcastle, and since we don't have Rodri now, De Bruyne has some injuries. I think Man City is going to have a lot of problems because their midfield is now shaking. They have been depending on one player for a long time, and also let's say De Bruyne there. Now Rodri for the rest of the season is not going to be there. So if Man City they're not going to win this league, then it will be known that Rodri is the playmaker, game changer, and is the only person who gives City the win. I saw them playing against Newcastle, and really Newcastle gave them a lot of problems. Newcastle could have won that game, but now they could not win. So, Kilong, what do you say about Man City? You said that they are going to win. Are they going to win when they don't have players like Rodri, De Bruyne?
I guess you've not experienced Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola is a versatile manager, and not that of overestimating him, but we have seen what he can do. He doesn't depend on players. He has a working system, so it will just take a matter of time for him to come up with other players who can play the role position, and also Kevin De Bruyne. So for him, he doesn't depend on players. It is system that is good. And remember, Man City normally don't pick up their pace at the beginning of the season. It's towards December when they stabilize, and from January on they become unbeatable. That's how Pep has time and time again played. So for me, I think him losing Rodri was a big loss to the team, because we know how good Rodri is, especially in the midfield. De Bruyne is facing a minor injury, so I expect him to be back and firing again. And to be honest, Man City has a quality, let me call it quality, a quality bench, whereby they have the likes of Martes Nunes, they have Savino, they have Jeremy Doku, they have Phil Foden, they have Kovacic. Their bench is quality, and actually the bench is can get into top four of Premier League on themselves. So for him, it not be a big problem. That's why I'm saying Man City is a team to beat, and it's becoming now almost hard for any team to come up against them, because they are well equipped. They have a good playing system. The coaching side is stable, and they have quality players who can play Pep's system.
He's saying that Man City maybe they are going to have a very easy time because their squad depth is very strong. And even if they have a very good squad depth, I also follow one of the sports pundits and also some of legends in the UK, and someone was saying that Manchester City, he doesn't even recognize Manchester City being one of the top clubs in the European countries. Why? You will see that money has just brought them there. And I was just asking myself, so can you just have those improvement if you don't have money? Does it mean that football does not come without money? That is the question that I just asked myself after I saw them comparing Man City, saying that they don't even believe them being in top of those European leagues, trying to compete at any point, at any time. And yet we have now Champions League, we have very many competition. And we also have the Club World Cup in the next year, which is already set teams. And also I saw even the stadiums are ready. I have also joined by Alex here. Alex, I don't know which team he supports, and I just want to ask him, what is your take, Alex, about City? And before we go to City, who do you think is going to be crowned champions for 2024-2025 Premier League season? I
Can't
think
hear him.
we cannot hear him. So we are saying that Kilong, we are talking about. I also watched the game between Man City playing against Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Do you think that Newcastle has been headache for Man City for a long time? Because I remember the last time these two teams met, the goals from Bernardo Silva during the FA competition. Bernardo Silva is the one who scored the brace. And now when they met,
Mhm.
I saw the Newcastle team. Eddie Rowe said giving Man City a lot of problems. What is your take about Newcastle? Newcastle last season we saw them play in the Champions League, although they did not go far, but still they gave that energy when they were playing at that is St James Park. What is your take about gameplay of Newcastle? This is the only team that has top and very tall players, by the way. The likes of Fabian Shah, those guys are very strong. The likes of Joelinton. Joelinton will screw you even if you are from Barcelona. What is your take from the play from this team that is Newcastle? Edward's side, although they are not performing well in this season.
Uh, Actually, I watched the game between Newcastle and Man City, and Newcastle played a good game. They were much better than Man City in terms of creating chances, and they always give Man City a problem. So it was unlucky for them even to not win the game. They the only goal they scored was through Anthony Gordon, which was a penalty. They should have scored more. Especially Joe Linton, you said how good he is, and it was creating a problem for for Man City. So, to be honest, Newcastle is a good team. The only problem that they are facing is that when some few players get injured, then that's it for them. They get battered, and they lose competition quickly. So you can't expect them to give them top six. They will compete for that, but not go even for winning anything. So to them, they need to improve in their bench because as the season drags along, so we get injuries here and there, and if your main players get injured, then you coming back and performing is becomes a problem. So I think Newcastle, on paper, they're a good side, and they gave Man City a challenge, and I actually thought they deserved to win the game. I was angry at them for not beating Man City. They had the chances to beat Man City. Yeah.
Kilong is saying that he was very hungry when he saw Newcastle finishing the game 1-1 together with City, and they had that ability to win that game at home, that is St James Park. And I have been watching Newcastle playing, and this team will be defeated by small teams. But when it comes to these big teams, the likes of City, Chelsea, United, then that is when you will recognize that they have a very tough team. I only like some of the guys there in Newcastle, the likes of Joelinton. Personally, when it comes to this game of football, to be specifically soccer, you need to have a player who is very strong. Joelinton is very strong. That guy, whenever I see him playing, even for Brazil, I always get happy because the guy will give you that elbow and then he will push you. And I'm also happy for them because now Sandro Tonali is back after the ban, and now
Mhm.
they are trying to coordinate there. And I think if they play well, then they are going to give challenge and they're going to come back into their position for the Champions League because the kind of signing that they have uh, recorded for the last 2 years since the new ownership took over is very very pleasing. That is Newcastle United and Man City. Man City, of course, they have very new players. I have seen Savino playing, and also I was following with some of my colleagues there talking about Savino. Savino is a new signing for Man City, and some of the friends of mine were comparing Savino with Mares. Do you think that Savino can be rated together with Mares? What is your range for Savino together with Mares when it comes to the rating? Because I have seen him playing, and personally, from my view, that Savino he cannot even get 10 when it comes to comparison together with Riyad Mahrez. That is during the time when Mahrez came from Leicester City to the Citizen.
Yeah. So you must remember Sabino is only 70-year-old. so you can't really compare him with the experienced Barres. But he's showing some signs that he can grow up to be that kind of player because he's actually good. The only problem I have is playing in Pep's system. Pep system doesn't make good players who are good with their feet shine because it's tippy tappy, pass the ball here and there, once in a while, dribble. So for those kind of players who are good on their feet, because we know he's a Brazilian and Brazilian play the beautiful football. For him, he'll get into Pep's. He'll be sucked into Pep's system and lose his quality when he's trying to play the ball. That's the only challenge I have. But yes, we can compare him to Mares, and you see Pep, those kind of players, he can uh, replace them anytime. He doesn't have an issue because they provided they pass, sometimes create chances, then he's good with them. His team style doesn't uh, really depend on wide players such as Savinho.
Yeah, Savinho is very young in comparison to a very old Riyad Mahrez when he came from Leicester City to the Citizens. That is Mahrez. Mahrez, whenever we played, that is whenever any team played against Mahrez, I will always see him pulling the defenders to the box. I don't know why his left foot always pulls the defenders into the box. And then he can cause a very easy goal or a penalty. That is the Riyad Mahrez. And of course, you have also seen in Man United. I think this is the big problem that we saw. I remember you talking about Angie when we talked about this game whereby Man United was facing Tottenham, and we saw the game yesterday whereby Man United got a red card, straight red card. And first, Kilong, do you agree that Bruno Fernandes red card was it genuine?
To be honest, it was a little bit harsh for for Fernandez, uh, but sometimes you question the player's discipline because he was falling down. Then at that moment, he pulled his leg trying to stop the player Madison. So for me, it was a harsh. It was a yellow card, but ultimately, if you look at it from a different perspective, it could be a red card as well. So it was a harsh decision, but I'd say it was a right call because it was not. I'll not call it a wrong call as all at all because he made the mistake of deliberately fouling Madison, and he aimed at the upper part of the player. That is sometimes can be read as huge mistake by the referee. So he lost his head and made Manchester, who are already suffering, to even suffer more. So that's what I think. What happened to Fernandez?
Of course, before even Fernandez being sent away, Brennan Johnson had already scored. So, and the Tottenham Hotspur side was already making a lot of effort so that they can score. Onana saved a lot of goals, but he could not even stop these guys from scoring. I think the biggest problem from my view is that Man United, they don't have a coach, someone who can talk to players, who can coordinate the players. That's why they are suffering. They were even held 1-1 against FC 20. 20, hey, that is something that really gave Man United fans a lot of problems when it comes to talking, when it matters concerning football. And now we are seeing them suffering. For the 7 games, they have 6 points. And that is the biggest shock for a big team that has been doing well when it comes to the Premier League. And fans are still not happy with what is happening. Tottenham Hotspurs, of course, we saw them play a very good game. And since Angie came there, Portugal Go has been doing a very good game and also making sure that the players are performing. Despite Tottenham not having that support from the captain, that is Son, who is having some minor problems, I don't know, maybe injuries. They scored. Who do you think was the major who contributed to winning of Tottenham Hotspur's game yesterday?
To be honest, it was Manchester United who contributed to Tottenham losing, winning, because to be honest, Manchester United never played yesterday's game. I don't know where their head space was. Uh, they made it too easy for Tottenham. Van der Beek, it's called Mickey Van der Hen, the this defender who created the first goal for Brennan Johnson. He ran all the way from behind the half of the field and into the box and made an assist across to Brennan Johnson. You're wondering where was the whole United defense? Where's the midfield play? Man United signed Ugarte as the defensive midfielder, but he was nowhere to be seen. I think the problem, I don't know if Manchester United players are tired with playing football, they should say, because they really never gave it. I'm also thinking, do they have an agenda towards Ten Hag? Do they want him gone? You know, sometimes when players want a manager gone, they will just play however they want, so that they can increase the tension among the club and make it and make the club reconsider uh, their coach. But also, Ten Hag is also responsible, because when you see Manchester play, they don't have any kind of style. They just go about and kick the ball. So they're not playing any kind of uh, beautiful style, or they don't have a style which is recognizable. They just kick the ball here and there and play some counter-attacking football, expecting something to happen. Yes, they had some chances. We saw Rashford having some one, two, three chances. We saw Granacho hitting the post, but those are half chances. It's hard for you to to score them. You might score, you might not score. They don't have a system which can provide attacking returns. So that's the problem I have with Ten Hag. But all the same, I always enjoy Man United losing, and I don't have any sympathy towards their fans. They should continue crying. We don't care, and they should accept themselves. They know that they are a middle table team, and once they accept themselves as that, then they will not have any pressure on them. So they will know that sometimes they will win, and most of the time they will lose. So, and they have upcoming hard games. They will be playing on Thursday with Porto, which is Porto is a good side, much better than FC20, whom they failed to beat. So FC Porto will give them a good competition. Then on Sunday they will face Aston Villa. I'm I'm sorry for the club. They are going to have tough times. But yeah, they they need to know what they got themselves into. Na wapunguze kiburi kidogo, wajikubali.
Kilong is saying that Man United they are going to have a very tough time for the next few games. Facing Porto is a very tough game, tough side. Facing Aston Villa, that is Unai Emery side. Although yesterday Unai Emery side, that is the Villa, was held 1-1 by a very new team, that is Ipswich Town. Ipswich Town, that was their second points. They won just one game, and yesterday they took 1 point from Aston Villa. And you know, Aston Villa is not an easy go zone. That team, I am very afraid of it because the way they play, there is no any team in the Premier League that plays the game that Unai Emery side gives. Because You will see Aston Villa planning the game from the box, and then the kind of passes that they are giving, penetration passes. There is no team that can do penetration passes in the Premier League. Even when you go to La Liga, you go to Bundesliga, any team that can do penetration passes, the only player I know who does that is Thomas Muller and Serge Gnabry. Those are the kind of players that can give you those penetration passes. If you're not keen, then they are going to score goals without you knowing. Aston Villa, they have that game that really makes me to want to support them. But again, they are doing a good game. So we're hoping that they are going to perform. We saw them playing very good in the Champions League, and of course they won. And Unai Emery, he understands what he's doing in the Villa Park. So Man United, you prepare for Villa. And Bruno Fernandes, of course, he came out to speak to BBC. He said that he's sorry for the teammates for going through at the time when they were playing against Tottenham. And he said that that was so harsh, the same way Kelonga said. But the intentions, personally, I took it in this perspective whereby the intention of Bruno Fernandes was to injure a Madison. And you know, those are the key players for Angie. So if Angie doesn't have Madison, Son, and in the midfield there, we don't have Bisuma. Now he's starting to utilize Brennan Johnson for a while. So maybe the referee was very harsh for him, but that is game. Let's just come back and he gets to be disciplined. That is Man United yesterday. They were defeated 3 goals by Tottenham Hotspurs. Players, I really pity players the likes of Casemiro. Kilong, do you believe that Casemiro could have came to Man United? The likes of Varane, Casemiro. We saw Varane going as a free agent to join Como, which is coached by a former Chelsea and Arsenal player, that is Fabregas. Do you think that that was the right decision for these top players to come to Man United? Or they could have stayed for the Los Blancos side?
It was a mistake, but also remember their career was dwindling. So if you are having if your career is almost finished, the best place to go is Manchester United, whereby they will pay you a lot of money, and they will they'll give pay you a lot of money without them expecting much from you, and they will not really improve you at all. You will we see players coming to Manchester United and they get worse. And I have three examples at the top of my head. Number one, we have Alexis Sanchez, who was playing brilliant football for Arsenal, but when he came to Manchester United, within 2 months, he was uh, he was an average or below average player. We saw Angel Di Maria playing for Real Madrid, and it was at his peak of his career. It's not like Varane or Casemiro who are approaching towards the end. Angel Di Maria was playing absolutely good football for Real Madrid, but when he came to Manchester United, his uh, his talent or his football playing skills went down. Remember Paul Pogba, who was playing absolutely good for Juventus, but after he came to Manchester United, he played well for 1 or 2 seasons, then he dwindled up. And the most recent case is Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho was a good player for Borussia Dortmund. Man United signed him. He came, played, had issues with the coach, and all of a sudden he's out of the team. He's not included in training, so he decided to go to Borussia Dortmund. He went and performed well for Borussia Dortmund and took them to the Champions League final. Then he came back to Manchester United. So if I want to proceed with my career, because he's still a young upcoming player, Manchester United is not the place for me to be. And he came to Chelsea, and you've seen how he's playing. For the few games he has played for Chelsea, he's playing like a top player. So Manchester United has is in a really terrible situation, because as a player you come there, and it will take you a few months before your football skills go down. That's the sad state of affairs for Manchester United.
Hey, Kilonga say that players should avoid Old Trafford at any point because we have seen a lot of players very top, the likes of Di Maria, Sancho, Valcao. You have now seen what is happening what is happening for Casemiro, Varane. So they should avoid Man United at any point. But now we have Modric. Still, he is performing well when it comes to Real Madrid, and he is at the edge whereby Casemiro and Varane were. But again, Modric has decided to stay in Real Madrid for a long time. So, from my point of view, I would have said that these guys should have stayed in Santiago Bernabeu because that is the only place that could have favored them. In Man United, then they are suffering. That is all about what you can say about Man United. And if you are following us, you can tell us what do you think that we can do to that is Man United can do to their coach Eric Ten Hag. Should he be sacked or he should stay? I'm very sure if I ask you long, you will say that Ten Hag should stay.
That's correct. He's making it easy for us as people who don't like Manchester United.
So that is Man United, and of course Arteta, of course. I've followed what is happening in the social media, whereby Raheem Sterling, since he came to Arsenal, he has been very active in the social media. Is he trying to prove to the football fans that he was not given time at Chelsea, or what do you think is happening to Sterling? Because I saw yesterday he was giving a two giveaway shirt for his fans who have been supporting him for joining Arsenal. What is your take about Raheem Sterling? Is he going to perform for Arsenal or it is the end of his career? Because he is very active in the social media.
Yeah, uh, I I'm a person who really doesn't like Sterling, not as a person, but his footballing skills, because for a long time he was playing for my club Chelsea, and what we saw from him was uh, he was an average player at most. This is because his decision skills is poor. His football IQ is poor. He doesn't know when to pass. Doesn't know when to take a shot, and he's frustrating. He will get one or two chances where he will shine, and after that, he will not. He's not a player in whom you can depend upon. So I also know Arsenal just brought him there as a backup, not really as a person, as a player that they will be expecting too much from him. He'll be always coming from the bench once or twice. Will be starting because of the congestion of games. But apart from that, Sterling, I think he has already picked, and he picked when he was in Man City, and he scored a lot of goals when he was in Man City because of the system Pep created for him. Without that, and though you throw him to a place where it's not that structured as Man City is, then you will see how poor of a player he is. Though sometimes he has that energy, he wants to come out and perform, but sometimes you'll get tired watching him as a fan because the things he does in the football pitch is what we call low football IQ, and he's an England player, so as always he will get praises here and there because he plays for England, and apart from that, there's not much Sterling can offer to any team unless he goes to these low table teams or mid table like Crystal Palace, which one else? Bournemouth. There he can be starting all day because those kind of teams don't expect too much from him. But when you are expecting too much from Sterling, I'm telling you, you will be surprised. He will uh, literally disappoint you.
Kilung will think that Sterling should go to the low mid clubs, the likes of Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, and also Everton. Everton, I saw them getting their first win. since this Premier League season took over. They are really struggling at the bottom there. That is more about Arteta side. Arteta side, I have also seen how they are playing, and to be sure is that they are trying as a team. So we hope that tomorrow I will be ready to see. But they are very lucky that Osman Dembele will not be playing due to disciplinary actions with together with his coach. So I will be waiting to see. But Paris Saint Germain, I don't think whether they are going to give them problems. But again, Paris Saint Germain, they play a very soft game. So maybe they can win against PSG, or they are going to be defeated by the PSG. That is in the UEFA Champions League. But by nowadays we have 36 teams. Personally, I have not even understood this format for the Champions League, and I'm very sure, Kilong, last time you told us about what is happening in the Champions League, and it is very tough. Actually, it's very tough. We don't know who is going to be the next one. There's no back to back. There's no, if you play to the for the same way Liverpool played in Italy for together with the AC Milan, you're not going to come back to Hanfield. That is what we
Yeah,
used to enjoy. Like you go home, I come to your home. But now we are having
yeah.
this format which is not even being understood by the fans. Kilongo, do you agree that do you want we continue with this kind of format, or the FIFA should just scrap this one?
I think UEFA, as I told you last time, how this new format came about because they are trying to give an interesting competition, and we are yet to. Of course, we will judge it by the end of the season, but as we know that for us fans will be watching interesting games. The only problem is that they will not come back again and face themselves. The huge teams will not. There's no home and away in the group stages. So I think that is the problem. But for now, for me, it looks interesting. Like tomorrow, we'll see Bayern against Aston Villa. We'll see Arsenal versus PSG. Those are good games to have early on the group stages. They'll be exciting.
Yeah, that is more about UEFA Champions League. But we're going to discuss more about UEFA. That is tomorrow. We're going to have a show for UEFA so that you can do some pre-match analysis against the UEFA Champions League. And you mentioned about Bayern facing Aston Villa. Since he took over Vincent Company as a head coach of Bayern, people were saying that he's not going to be the right manager for this team. But you can see now they are leading in the Bundesliga, and they are playing very well. They have scored a lot of goals when he took over as a manager from what the head, that is Tuchel. Now he's there as a head coach. Still a young coach. He played together with the likes of Mula and still is acting as the coach. Do you think that Vincent Company is going to have a successful season in the Allianz Arena?
Yeah, for now it seems he has done well initially to make the players play interesting football, and we judge him because he got Burnley relegated. But remember, the type of players he was playing with or he was managing were were not of the caliber of Bayern Munich. So now with Bayern Munich, he's got them to play well. There's really scoring. We have Michael Olise, Musiala, Harry Kane, those exciting players, and they are really performing. So for him, for the Bundesliga, it's not going to be uh, a tough competition. Maybe he will just have to shrug off Bayer Leverkusen, and that's it. Then they will win the Bundesliga again. Uh, where we will come to see how well they are playing, where the rubber meets the road it's during the Champions League. Yeah, that's when we can judge Vincent Company and how well he's a good. The same case to Luis Enrique managing PSG. PSG, we all know Ligue 1, they they win the cup over and over. So that's not a competition for him. It's like it's expected. So him performing in Europe is when we'll judge if how good he is. So I'm waiting to see how Bayern will perform, and also PSG. But I'm thinking that Vincent Company can really go far into the competition because of his football uh, knowledge, or his system is well versed in winning games.
Yeah, Vincent Company. And from my own point of view, I really wish him all the best. Maybe he can win the trophy. I was watching him in Man City. He retired from the football game and he went to coach Anderlecht before he came to Burnley. And now he's coaching one of the big teams in Europe, that is Bayern. So I wish him all the best. That is Vincent Company. He's one of the cool managers that I know, and he really used to play well. I remember in the 2018 World Cup playing for Belgium. Again, yesterday we saw Madrid derby, whereby Real Madrid was playing against Atletico Madrid, Diego Simeone side versus Carlo Ancelotti. And really, that game, of course, that is what we call derby. I have witnessed a lot of derbies, but that Madrid derby is very tough because even the fans, Katois was giving a lot of saves there until the fans had to throw a lot of. Actually, I didn't see that thing well. Was it like a what's it like? What was that? Was it a blood thing or what was that? Did you saw it?
Yeah, I was watching the game, and it was interesting because the fans, I think it was fireworks. They threw a bag of fireworks towards. It had not yet been littered, but it was, I think, in a paper bag or something. So they threw towards Kotua. Then the game had to be stopped, and the guys went back to the dressing room for almost 15 to 20 minutes. Then they came back again. So by that time, I was sleepy. So I watched a little bit and I slept. And when I woke up, I saw that Atletico equalized. So it was it's a derby match. And, the new stadium Atletico Madrid has, Wanda Metropolitano. Or is it one? No, is it Wanda, or it's a stadio something?
No, Civilitas Metropolitano.
Yeah, yeah. So the new stadium makes the derby even more exciting. So yeah, it was interesting, but at the end of the day, f- fans sometimes need to hold back their emotions and feelings and let the game play, so that because the stop uh, reduce the momentum. And I actually saw Atletico Madrid playing a good game against Real, and the draw was a good result, all to be honest, because the goal from Militao at the first half or beginning of the second half was a, a good goal, and no keeper could have saved that. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a Madrid derby whereby Real Madrid was playing against Atletico Madrid. And Madrid, Atletico were at home, Civilitas Metropolitano, and that is a big stadium. And Catois, after making a lot of saves, that is Atletico fans were able to just throw things so that they can stop. Does it mean that during those games, that the big games, those fans, there is no investigation? Does the police check from the gate, like who's getting in with all those? Like, I don't know what happens because you can even see players, fans also throwing beers into the stadium. Because if you watch those Madrid fans, that is Atletico Madrid fans, and the fans for Borussia Dortmund, those fans are very. I don't know what is the best term to refer to them because anytime they lose, then they will cause chaos. I also saw what happened during the last season whereby Bayer Leverkusen were winning the Bundesliga title. That was very risky for players actually because I watched the game and they got into the field whereby they were celebrating. Very risky, and maybe they are trying to adapt to what happens in Kenya. In Kenya, you go to the stadium that is Nyayo together with your family, then you know things are going to happen. For example, we have the derby between Gor Mahia and AFC, then you know things are going to boil. So I saw yesterday whereby the coach, that is Diego Simeon, together with the captain Koke, they had to come into the field and stop the fans. Do you
Yeah, they
think
had to
that
plead with
those
them.
fans are Kilong, do you think that those fans have respect for Diego Simeon because he has been there for a long time together with Coke? Compare this
Yeah, I
situation to
think
Kenya. Can even our Harambee Stars captain Michael Lunga stop Kogalo fans fighting?
sometimes the Kogalo fans are over the border, I suppose, because for them, they don't throw objects, they throw stones, and they try to vandalize equipment in the stadium. But I don't know what happened to Atletico Madrid fans because they went over the border, I would say, until Koke Diego Simeone had to tell them, please calm down, calm down. He was telling them, calm down. This is a game. Football is on the pitch. It's not done elsewhere. It's for you just to show support to your team and hope that your team finally performs. Because if something is not working, throwing stones or objects to the field will not help anything. So at least I thought that it was a good leadership from the captain Koke and Diego Simeone to come and plead with the fans, tell them just calm down, let's play the game. And after that, I thought the fans toned down their heavy protest or whatever was going on, and then there was a bit of calm, and the games resumed as well. So that's what happened yesterday.
Yeah, those Atletico Madrid fans fighting and trying to throw things into the Katoy side. Katoy's, and also he was playing very well. I watched the game and Korea scored in the 70 minutes after what a mistake was made by the same goal scorer for Real Madrid, that is Militao. The man of the match was Rodrigo Valverde. But Valverde is missing in the Ballon d'Or. What is your rating about when it comes to the attacking midfielders, the likes of Valverde? Where do you rate Valverde? Because personally, that guy really plays. That guy, the way he kicks the ball, then he goes against the defenders, then you know that this is a player. I've even watched him play against during the 2022 World Cup where Uruguay was playing. That guy is like a rocket. You give him space, then that is when you are going to know who is Valverde. Yesterday, I remember a counter attack whereby Atletico Madrid fans, defenders were like sleeping. Then the shot that was given by Valverde, that guy can even kill defenders. I think the
Yeah,
shot for Valverde I can rate it together with Frank Lampard. Where do you rate
yeah.
Valverde?
Yeah, absolutely. I believe Valverde is one of the top midfielders. He's versatile, has stamina, and his shooting ability is out of the world. He can literally score a goal out of nothing. And I've watched his long range goals, and they're a beauty. As a football fan, you will just enjoy uh, seeing these goals get in. As I told you, as you probably know, I don't love Real Madrid as a team, but I have to recognize I have to recognize such talents such as Federico Valverde, and I think for him, I don't see there's no any other player currently that can reach his striking ability, his shooting ability, especially outside the box. I believe he's the best midfielder when it comes to that.
Yeah, that is Kilong. And before we finish, and of course we are coming to the end of the show. Kilong, we saw Barcelona. Barcelona, of course, that is the seventh game of the season since Hansi Flick took over the leadership. And from Xavi now, Barcelona, they were playing very good game. But Osasuna, they had that energy to score 4 goals against the Catalonia guys. What is your view about Hansi Flick? Is this the downfall of Hansi Flick?
I won't say really downfall. Sometimes things like this happen in football. You are really playing well, then you get uh, surprised by certain teams, and that gives you a wake up call that you need to do one, two, three. I remember he started. The star boy Lamine Yamal never started the game. He came as a substitute, so I think because of the congestion and a lot of games played, he was trying to give him a rest because he may be underrated the team Osasuna, but then they came and scored 4 goals, and they only replied with two. So as if Flick is not, we cannot say bad times have caught up with him. We'll see how he'll bounce back the next few games that are coming, because games are coming in thick and fast, and I know Barcelona will absolutely respond, and there we will be able to see how Hansi Flick performs.
Yeah, that is Kilong, because I know he is one of the biggest fans for Barcelona. I was saying that I am very sure that he was not happy seeing Barcelona being scored for goals. But again, Barcelona, they are the leading in the La Liga table with 21 points after 7 matches. You saw in La Liga, Barcelona, they are on top, followed by Real Madrid, and number three is Atletico Madrid. You go to England, Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Chelsea, and those are the big leagues that we have. Bundesliga, of course, Bayern Munich, they are the leading in that Bundesliga, and also you go to France as usual. You go to Italy, Napoli. Antonio Conte is doing a very good thing there. And of course, as we come towards the end of the show, I want to ask Kilong before we terminate. I've seen some of digital creators who follow what is happening in the sports, comparing some of the youngest midfielders in this era. Kilong, what is your take about if you're given Jude Bellingham and Jamal Musiala, who would you pick and why?
Of course, Jamal Musiala, because for me, Jamal Musiala, the ball, how he moves the ball, how he plays with a certain finesse to the game. Bellingham, he bullies. He has a good stamina, and and knows how to get to the box and bully defenders. So for him, in terms of pure football, Musiala is ahead of him. But because the lot of the confidence that Bellingham exudes, sometimes people think that he's a good player, but when it comes to the technical bit, Musiala is way above him. That's what I would say.
Yeah, that is Kilong said you will pick Musiala way ahead from Bellingham. Personally, I would say the same way you have said. When I'm given these two, then I'll go for Jamal Musiala because that boy is very brilliant. He has got the skills. He knows how to go past the defenders without problems. He's very quick. Maybe I don't know whether it is a bad game of play, but the boy is very quick, and even you see him playing in the German side. I will say that Germany they have a very good talent, the likes of Froley and Witz. They are competing there, and I'm very sure that Germans the football will still be made in Germany. We saw them lifting the 2014 World Cup, and in the Euro 2024 where they were hosting, they really struggled, but still Germany is where we got talents. Anyway, that was amazing. That was amazing. As we come towards the end of the show, I will say that a big shout out to the comment section there who were saying that they really support the idea of Murkomen being the CS for the sports. Others were saying that Murkomen is like Man United. They will all fail. Kelong is also saying that Murkomen will all fail. But at the end of the day, we want our sports industry in this country to go ahead. We have a lot of sports in this country. We have football, handball, we have athletics, we have judo, we have boxing. I also witnessed boxing. I was at Embu on Wednesday where I witnessed the boxing competition for the third league and boxing. I don't know whether Kilong do you support boxing.
To be honest, I don't I haven't watched it. I don't follow it as well because it's not a sport that I'm interested in. Because there's a lot of it's a one match game. There's no teamwork. It's just how good the person is. So for me, I don't follow that much of boxing. But I hope that Kenya is playing well and we get to compete in international competitions and especially in Africa, be African champions, then go ahead and do something on the world stage. And Bonnie, you never seem to talk about Chelsea. What's happening? Just pointing out.
We talked about Chelsea.
No, we've not talked about it. We never talked about how the game against Brighton.
Oh,
I was wait,
but you
I
know,
was,
maybe I forgot when we talked about Chelsea during the time when we were saying about they are going to win the league.
oh yeah,
Oh, the game between. Okay,
Brighton
but maybe you can
Brighton
give
and
us your ideas and your views about the game whereby Chelsea, since Enzo Maresca took over, they have won game against Wolverhampton, and they also won the game against I think Derby, West Ham.
yeah,
Yeah.
Bournemouth as well, and Brighton. And we'll just talk about it for a short time because we're towards the end of the show. And to be honest, if you watched just the game on Saturday between Brighton and Chelsea, it was a really exciting game where uh, we had almost 6 goals scored, with 4 being Chelsea scoring and Cole Palmer scoring the 4 of the goals. It was an exciting match because we Brighton, prior facing Chelsea, they had not lost, and they were being tipped to give us a challenge, and they tried it, but Maresca really demolished the Brighton's play because they love to play on the high line, and the boys in blue really really gave Brighton a retrospection because every time they could attack, you'd think that Chelsea would score. Of course, Chelsea was scored 2 goals, and majorly it's because of the mistake. Number one by Sanchez, and number two by no. All the 2 goals came from Sanchez because he came out and defended. He tried to punch the ball and he punched the air. He missed the ball. Then the second goal, he passed to a Brighton player, and we Brighton scored 2 goals. But on the other hand, Chelsea on the attacking, they were lethal. They scored 4 goals. Cole Palmer scored 4 goals, and 2 goals were ruled offside, just slightly offside, and Palmer hit the post. Nicholas Jackson had almost 3 chances that he never scored. To be honest, Chelsea are playing an attractive football, and you can imagine they're just getting started. When they finally get acquainted to playing with each other and they gel, then Chelsea will be a tough team to beat. And remember, they have a strong bench. I know that come next game, we're playing on Thursday Conference League. They will field players, almost a new set of players that normally don't feature in the first 11 in the Premier League, and that those kind of players are equally strong. We have Jao Felix, we have Pedro Neto, we have Christopher Nkunku, we have Lavia. So Chelsea are playing well at the moment. Yes, I just wanted us to highlight that.
Yeah, that is the long one. Of course, he's saying that Chelsea are play a very good game, and I don't know why I forgot about this because Chelsea have been playing a very good game. I've been watching them playing, and really they are playing a very interesting match. That is football because Enzo Maresca, since he took over from the former coach, then they have been making sure that they are winning games, which is one of the things that we as fans we are happy for it. We are happy for Chelsea, and we wish them they are going to win for the next matches. They have a good squad. They have best attacking. Cole Palmer making history, scoring 4 goals in just 20 minutes. I was really impressed. I was a bit busy, but I followed the live score until the 80th minutes, whereby I came and found that we are only leading with 4 goals. The boy is playing a very good game, and yet he did not start a single match for England during the Euro 2024. Do you think that England made a mistake of not giving Palmer time? And we'll say, what do you say about Chelsea signing Cole Palmer?
Yeah, to be honest, you can see how Cole Palmer was playing last season. He was the best player on the Pochettino side, and remember the kind of games that we were playing with Pochettino, they were absolutely abysmal. But Cole Palmer always shone. So it was a pity that uh, Gareth Southgate never even consider him as a starter in the Euro 2024 for England. And you could see as well when he was coming from the bench, he could make impact. I was expecting him that from the semi-final he should have started, and also the final he should have started. He was way better than Foden, way better than Saka. To be honest, it was just favorism from Gareth Southgate, and he never gave Cole Palmer a chance because Cole Palmer is lethal. He has scoring instinct. He has passing ability. He's a creator. He's a goal scorer. So I don't know why he was not included. And people in the social media are saying, what really happened that Gareth Southgate never included him in his starting lineup? And because now he's proving even him wrong, because people are saying he's a one season wonder. But we have seen what he has done. He has scored 4 goals in one match, uh, making history to score 4 goals in the first half. Is the only player, and he could have scored more because there was one that was ruled offside, slightly offside, and he hit the post as well. So you can see how good he is, especially with his scoring ability. And during Wolverhampton game against Chelsea, he scored. He gave 4 assists in one game. So you see, he scores and he also creates. That's the type of player that England were missing, and people are now trying to see how good of a player he is, and they are tipping him to win the Ballon d'Or sometime because of how, and also he's confident when taking the. He has no pressure. He enjoys playing football, and he's calm and collected. That's what I like about him.
Yeah. The boy is very calm, and of course, as you say that whenever he wants to score in penalties, he don't have that pressure like the goalkeeper might save. I have
No.
seen some of the players like Jorginho and also Paul Pogba, even Ronaldo. You know, Even Rashford will do a lot of steps like he's preparing to
Mhm.
score, but Palmer will always relax and he will look
Yeah,
at the goalkeeper. Very
and
relaxed boy,
yeah,
and he will score. He has never
mhm.
missed a penalty, by the way.
Yeah, and they're taken out of them, especially
So
last
I
season.
think Chelsea, yeah, Chelsea are very lucky for having him, and we wish
Mhm.
the boy all the best to have free injuries. And also Chelsea, they took over as we talked about Sancho. Sancho has been very brilliant when it comes to Chelsea since he came there at the Stamford Bridge, and even the love from the fans. You can tell when he was at Man United, he never opened the comment section when he posted for Instagram. But nowadays, he always leave it free for the fans. Fans are
Mhm.
giving him that love. These players are still human beings. So the moment you attack them, they read those messages. So I think Sancho, we wish him all the best still, and I really hope that that number 19 Enzo Maresca can use it well because the dribbling skills for Sancho can really make Chelsea score goals. And I'm waiting, really waiting for a big match. I'm waiting for a big match. We missed him
Yeah,
during Man City time. Now I'm waiting for a big
mm.
match when we'll be having a big team, the kind
Yeah,
of play that
it's
Sancho will give us.
yeah. Chelsea are to play Liverpool after the international break, so we're going to see the game and see how he plays and how he performs.
What about the midfield of Chelsea? Caicedo. I've
Caicedo,
seen people also comparing Caicedo together with the Kravenberg. What is
yeah,
your view when it comes to the
Caicedo, Caicedo is playing well, and though the first goal against no, this is the first, yeah, the first goal against Brighton, there was a bit of mishap. He should have cleared, but he passed back. Then to some player for Brighton, but all the game he was playing well, and he has been being consistent. He's improving over and over, and trying to shine, holding the midfield, and they are now engaging well with Enzo Fernandez. So, and remember, we have Latvia as well on the bench. So Chelsea's midfield again is potent. It can overrun you if you don't play well. So Caicedo, to be honest, he's among the good players. Also to mention Marco Kurela. Kurela is really playing. He has got his mojo back. He has confidence. He can he plays well on the left side. He attacks well as well. So Chelsea are an interesting club at the moment to watch.
Yeah, that is a big fan for Chelsea. That is Benjamin Kilong saying that he's feeling nice watching Chelsea playing and also making those moves because for the last 3 seasons, I think 4 seasons, the struggle has been real in the Stamford Bridge. And also, do you support, Kilong, do you support that now they after this gem injury, they have given Enzo Fernandez that captain punch? Do you support that?
Yeah, uh, Enzo, although he doesn't know English, but he's a leader in his own capacity because we are young. The players in Chelsea are young, and for him, stepping up to take up the role as a captain is a good direction, and him trying to carry the boys and telling them that they can play. That's a good thing from Chelsea. And remember, Enzo Fernandez, as young as he is, he has a lot of experience coming from Benfica. He was the uh, one of the relied players on the midfield. He also played in Argentina during the World Cup, and we saw that how good he was. So him becoming the captain as we wait for Reese to recover is a good thing.
Yeah. He saying that he supports, and personally, I support the number 8. And the only thing that I am missing from the number 8 is the goal scoring mentality. Number 8, we have been used to the likes of Frank Lampard. So I want him to score outside the box. That is the only thing that will make me feel happy. But he's a good player. He makes those moves, and whenever he gets a ball, then he always eyeing the post. He always makes sure that whenever he gets the ball, then the aim is to score or give an assist. And then that is Enzo Fernandez. And I wish Enzo Maresca all the best in the Chelsea squad. Thank you so much, of course, in the comment section, those who have been active here. This is Dimba Afriq, and we have been doing some of the post-match analysis here as we wait for the onset of the game week 2 for the Champions League. I want to say thank you so much, and Kilong, before we part, don't give us your closing remarks as we come to the end of this show, which has been 1 hour, almost 40 minutes. That is almost 1 hour, 40 minutes, and we are happy for that. Thank you. Give us your closing remarks.
Yeah, thank you, Bonnie. It's always a nice time talk about football, analyzing the matches, especially on the Premier League game week 6, and also looking at what's happening in our local uh, football environment. So, as I've said, from tomorrow we are going to have exciting UCL matches. So, looking forward to that. And thank you to our fans who are listening us all over the globe. Uh, Continue tuning on Dimba Afriq. Thank you. It's Mzeke Long as usual.
Asante sana Mzee Long, and you have been one of our loyal followers here. We shall be giving you the one of the top badges because you have been the brand ambassador here in our Dimbala Afrique show. As we come to the end of the show, I want to say that thank you so much for giving us your company, those who are following the social media and who have been giving us those comments through their support of their teams and making sure that they are tuned into our post match analysis show. What I can say is that make sure you support your team, whether it's not performing or not. This goes to Man United fans. Stay loyal to your team. That is the end of our today's show. Thank you so much. We meet here same place, same time. As we do post match, that is pre match analysis for the UEFA Champions League. Have a good afternoon.